Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, come on in and have a seat. Make sure you got something cold to drink. And if you're eating something, go ahead and eat and enjoy the show. We are back for another week of Just a Fan Podcast. Now, before I introduce you guys, I'm gonna say this again. Please get our subscribers up because just before we went live, we were wild in the green room. And if you get us so many subscribers, okay, we'll have a Patreon.
Nothing to see here.
Hold on, wait, no, don't say nothing. Don't say Eric. Don't say nothing, Eric. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Can't give it away.
I wasn't. Trust me, I wasn't.
But guess what? The only thing I'm gonna say is that we put two late great rappers in the same sentence or in the same discussion. It was Gangsta Boo and Tupac. Now I'm not gonna say why, but just know that I put Gangsta Boo and Tupac in the same we put them in the same conversation for a certain reason, okay? But you gotta get our subscribers up to a certain number. How many? What do you guys think? 1,000? 900, 500?
500.
About 500. So if you get us up to 5, okay, there you go. All right, we're gonna set the bar. The bar is at 500. You give us 500 subscribers, we'll create a Patreon. You can watch us in the green room when we ask to, because I'm the worst. Well, actually, he is the worst. But anyway,
you're gonna watch me eating a sandwich more than likely. That's
but anyway, so let's go and get started. Down below, wide receiver, Steve White. What's up, man?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's good? What's good?
Gotta be back. Gotta be back.
There you go. That direction. The defensive-minded man. Panel 316 was good.
Man, look here, man. I need these teams to go ahead and decide who they're gonna be. They messing up my damn picks.
Oh man, he jumping in already. He jumping in already.
I'm just saying they need to decide who they're gonna be, because I'm putting faith in some teams that I shouldn't be, and then I'm doubting some teams that, because there's some teams I probably ain't gonna ever pick to win a game ever again. I'm just saying.
And then now I'm introducing myself. Oh, hold on, before I even introduce myself. Well, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm the quarter host, the NFL Encyclopedia, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this whole thing. Coach Williams, what's up, everybody? And now this direction, since he just got on, because now this guy is down this direction. Trish TV, what's up, man? The quarterback that runs this whole show. Trust me.
What's good? What's good?
All right, so we just getting started. T Money. Basically, let's go and jump in. So, Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Kansas City Chiefs, got himself kind of not like a restructure. Well, it's kind of restructured, but it's also like he pretty much got a raise. $210.6 million over 4 years. So this year, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016.
Wait, what year?
2000. Oh, my bad. 2023, 24, 25.
You got an 85 DeLorean? You going back in time? You Doc Brown?
Hey, no. I got 6'4" Impala, okay?
They got a flux capacitor in those?
Anyway, okay, my bad. So 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. Thank you. My mistake. Anyway, after the 2026 season, they're going to look at his contract again. So, guys, and we can start with it don't matter who we start off with. Let's talk about this real quick about Patrick Mahomes' raise.
Well, I haven't seen the structure of it, so I'm not gonna say too much about it, but could be they're trying to move money around to try to bolster the team.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, I haven't seen the details of it. I'm still trying to pull it up on Spot Rec, but I don't know
if it's been updated.
I think part of it came from Joe Burrow getting his deal. And they was like, "Oh, wait a minute, we got to make Pat Mahomes' eyes. Let's pump our brakes on this now." I think that's kind of what was happening. But
I don't think so.
Again, that's the thing. Is still the details of that deal are still in the dark, as far as I know.
Yeah. So I believe the original structure was, I think he was going to start seeing his new contract money. I think about 30 this year, and then like the the bulk of it the next few years. I think the restructure has more to do with bringing in top tier talent to the team. Chris Jones had a heck of a game, and they really, I mean, because he was playing D tackle as he usually does play. He was playing DN. I think it's okay. We got to make him happy. We got to pay him. Let's get Pat Mahomes most of his money now. Keep him happy. Restructure on the back end so we can bring in other people and pay Chris Jones for a few more years. That's what I think it was about. But I know the structure. I know he wasn't going to see the bulk of that $500 million contract until I think starting next season. I believe it was.
All right. Well, and see, that makes sense because you are in a point of time where you want to just keep trying to win the Super Bowl as much as possible. You've been in 5 consecutive conference championship games, winning 3 of them. You've been to 3 Super Bowls, winning 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just want to keep winning as much as possible. You saw what New England did. Now, I don't know if they're going to last 20 years like New England did, but
I think that's an anomaly. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I say I just don't see that happening. I'm not saying it's 100% impossible, but I just don't see that happening. But like I said, you want to win as many Super Bowls as possible now while you're there. And so if you're able to, like you said, Steve, free up some money, and then that way you can go after some more free agents and say, hey, look, come to Kansas City. We're trying to win another Super Bowl now.
Yeah, and the thing is, they want to have money to be able to pay players. Like,
yes,
losing Eric Bieniemy, the offense took a step back. That's no secret.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the Chiefs
definitely showing that. Yeah,
the Chiefs usually start slow anyways, but they still put up more points and yards than what they are right now. So losing him, and they're a smart one. They know that was a big hit to the offense. It's okay. We lost him. You know, he was a mastermind, him and Andy Reid for sure. Andy Reid got most of the credit, but they're averaging, I think Watch is averaging almost 10 more points per game. So Eric Bieniemy is doing more in Washington than what the offense is doing in KC under Matt Nagy, which that's a whole different story. But yeah, I think I want to bring in top tier talent, man, to help remediate that.
Yeah, man. Because their receiving core is, and I'm not talking about Travis Kelce. I know Travis Kelce, gets targets, but I'm just talking about the actual wide receivers. I mean, Kadarius Toney had a bad game week 1. I don't know how he did this past week, but Kansas City only scored 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm not gonna say they don't. Well, Tyreek Hill when he was there was the WR1, and then he left. They replaced him with Juju and what's that?
Mecole Hardman. No, well, Mecole Hardman was where was he?
He was already there, but
he's more of a slot guy. Yeah.
Scanley, the guy who you just said, Steve.
Valdez Scanley.
Yeah. So, and now, Juju's in New England. I don't know if they have a true WR1.
They don't.
So it's almost like Kelce is the WR1.
Exactly.
But I think the rest of the guys are more like 3s and fews. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, they're all speedy guys. They all can get open at some
point.
Yeah,
they can get, but they're getting open. But they don't have a borderline anchor guy. Is what I'm also trying to say. I'm not saying you have to have an anchor guy because we discussed it before. In any Reid system, you don't need a true anchor wide receiver. However, they don't even have a borderline anchor wide receiver. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And also to add to that, the big problem is they don't have a running game.
Too.
They usually run when they're up by a lot. That's when they usually run. They have good talent at running back, but they don't have a good running attack. They don't.
It's almost like you're saying
they
that
load the box easily because
it's not balanced.
Yeah, you don't have a true number 1. So, and to be honest, like they haven't been going against stout defenses. It's like y'all should be putting more points than you have right now. You have been doing. So, I don't know.
Well, they are 1-1 right now. And they got a pretty easy game coming up this week, and we'll talk more about it later. But let's get off into let's talk about these injuries. Last night we watched the injury occur that it just chilled me to the bone. And thinking about the repercussions that are going to come behind that injury, and that's Nick Chubb had a really, really serious knee injury. The details of that haven't come out yet, but we know that it's season ending. We know for a fact that it is season ending. My thoughts on that, and then I'll let you guys go, is that effectively there's about a 90% chance that his career is done. And here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. He'll be. We talked about this in the green room, but he'll be 29 next year. 1, 2. He's had 2 major knee injuries
since college.
3. The running back market is at an all-time low. Okay, and 4. We went over his contract, me and Brandon did, and we realized that Cleveland can get out of his contract with giving up relatively almost no money, like less than $4 million, I believe.
It's a $4 million hit.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I know he's 27, but by next year, the injury that he has, he won't be up to speed again or even be able to play until we're talking about maybe September, quite possibly October of next year. Okay. So by that time, he'll be 28. He won't be up to full speed again until he's 29. So that is, and then considering the running back market the way it is right now, most teams are going to be like, hey, man, we're going to go get somebody younger, man. We're going to move on. And then
somebody younger, somebody with better knees. Look, okay, so back in college, he tore – well, first of all, he dislocated his knee and he tore multiple ligaments. This is also a knee dislocation with multiple ligament tears. Now, it's not a copycat as far as which ligament tore. We don't know the details of the ligaments that tore, but we know it's multiple ligaments.
Look, man.
And like you said, 90% chance of not playing ever again. I got him at 98, 99% chance. And I just want to, me personally, if I'm Nick Chubb, I'm just retiring after the end of the season and just focus on getting better. And, that's it, because I've made my money. Cleveland's not going to the Super Bowl. The only way a team might even try to sign me is if I accept veteran minimum.
Yeah. I feel like we don't even – we're going to learn the details as time goes on, but he shattered everything in that leg, man. Everything is toast in that leg. They couldn't even, show certain angles of it on TV because it was that bad, man. We shared a picture between us, but, yeah. He made his money, though, and it's just his time might be up, man.
I really hate that for that brother because he was probably a top tier running back in this league. He's arguably
easy.
Yeah, he's arguably a top 5 running back. Just going by fantasy, he was a top 5 running back.
Right.
And it's really at his age, and he's not old, but in running back years, that's considered running back years is like dog years. Let's be honest. Once you get close to that 30 threshold, and I'm talking about 27, 28, that's the 30 threshold. They're like, wait. Let's see if we can find somebody younger. Because they as a running back, and we talked about this. Eric? He said the Rams are shopping Cam Akers. Do you think the Browns are going to call since Chubb is gone?
Actually,
we know that Kareem Hunt has visited because he's already played for them and he knows their scheme.
Yeah,
but that's not a bad deal. But I think they will go cheaper with Kareem Hunt because Kareem Hunt is a free agent, as opposed to having to trade for Cam Akers, which you got to give up something to get Cam Akers.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you don't necessarily rule that out.
No, Cam Akers is not that good for them to try to trade for him. He's solid, but they're not going to do that.
Unless they want to do a running back by committee thing and get a bunch of mid-tier running backs and all of those guys combined to be their rushing attack.
Now, also, Steve, I get what you're saying about Cam Akers. They run that Shanahan system up in Cleveland, so if Cam Akers can make it work in that system, then he'll be all right. I'm not saying he's going to, go crazy, but he can be at least decent.
Because you can make it work, honestly. You can make it work with 3 or 4 decent guys to be your multi-pronged attack. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it can work. It takes
if they trade.
Go ahead, man.
$2 million. They're not gonna do that.
What's his deal? His deal is how much?
So if they trade for Cam Akers, he's due $2 million this season, including his roster bonus, which he's already got. So base is 1.5.
So $1.5 million. Okay, well, I mean that's not bad.
It's not, but I don't see them doing that. I don't see them caring that much about Cam
Akers.
I
don't see him either. I mean, because
he's not a huge name. Like, we got to get Cam Akers is on. Like, maybe someone else, but I don't see that urge for him, especially with the fact that the Rams have consistently benched him for several reasons, whether it's not coming to practice, not being in shape, different things. So it's like they really want to pay 1.5 for him, knowing that they're going to have it brings a headache. Like, this isn't like a premium running back that's worth that kind of risk. They're not going to make that move.
And then you got to also throw in the running back market is at an all-time low.
Exactly. Shoot, we just cut Ronald Jones, the Cowboys. They can sign Ronald Jones for way cheaper.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah. He came off a 2-game suspension.
Exactly.
And he got cut. Look, he came off suspension. 20 minutes later, they cut him.
Exactly. Right.
Hey man, you threw your suspension? Yeah, man, I'm ready to go.
They just shipped him out of Frisco, Texas immediately. I'm like, dang, you didn't get a man chance to shake hands and say hi to everybody and nothing, man.
You can go, sir.
You can go.
But it's a running back market, man. I mean, Dowdle's cheaper. Freaking Deuce is cheap, man. It's like
rookie deal.
Yeah, like,
and you definitely know Deuce is cheap because he was a 6th-round pick.
Right. That keeping 4 backs on the roster, like, bruh.
And like we always say, you can draft a running back either round 3 or 4 first, then draft another one round 6 or 7, and then bring a rookie free agent.
Mister, if you know how to scout, you don't have to use a draft pick on a running back. Ain't find a good one.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
At the very worst, you might find somebody 5th round or later. At the very least, you'll find somebody undrafted that winds up being a stud.
Hey,
and that's the reason why running backs are not getting paid like they should, or they're not getting paid. I ain't gonna say like they should, but they're not gonna get paid. Because I'm like, hey man, running backs come a dime a dozen, and we got $10, basically. So, yeah. So let's talk about some of these games that happened. Some of these. Oh my God, are the Cardinals bad or what?
Hold on. I wasn't able to put in my 2 cents. I sat here patiently.
Hey man, I'm so
I
sorry.
let y'all talk. I let y'all.
We used to looking at a picture up there. So
I let y'all have
my bad, dog. Let me go do your thing, dog. Do your thing. I was about to move to the next time.
I was like, dang. But anyway, the only thing is real quick. It's not even gonna be long anyway. I feel so bad for Nick Chubb, the player and the person, but I also feel bad for the running backs in general, because the first thing that every owner probably said as soon as that hit happened, they were like, told you so. Like immediately. Told you so. Because Austin Eckler, ankle. Saquon Barkley, ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Chubb, knee. All you guys were chirping during the offseason about running backs getting this money.
Where them dollars at?
And so they're looking at it like, no. Because I only had you for 2 games, and now you're out for the year. Potentially, your career is ending because it was the same knee. So it's not even like it's the other knee; it's the same knee.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
you hate to see that because of what they're trying to fight for. But this really could have put them behind the 8 ball even more than where they already were, because the owners, they got so much evidence to lean on to say, hey, this is why we can't pay you this kind of dollar.
And I mean, because y'all in the ad, Jamal Williams got injured last night.
And
too.
Jamal, last night Jamal Williams got injured. Yep.
And is on my fantasy team. Well,
And they said he's going to be
Me
out
too.
for a few weeks.
correction, was on my fantasy team.
Right. So this is the hand unfortunately that they're dealt with, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, because I do believe they deserve their money, the pounding that they take, and when it comes to playoffs and championships, you got to have some kind of running game to win. I don't care what you're saying with the passing game through the regular season, all that. The Super Bowls I've seen has some kind of running game that helped them decide those games to win them championships.
And they be hitting A gap like crazy.
So it's unfortunate, but now we can move on. Now that I got my 2 cents and a mule out.
So yeah. So again, we're gonna talk about some of these games.
Yeah.
Man, is Brandon Staley's a terrible coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have a special video for those type of coaches.
Here we go.
Trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
So we
Okay,
have
I'm
some.
sorry,
So we have a new segment now called Trash, and if we believe that you perform as a player is trash or your coaching is trash, you will get this clip. Okay, and let's start off with. So we have a few people to talk about. We're gonna start off with Chargers head coach Brandon Staley. This is one of Tristan's favorite defensive-minded coaches in history. He wants him as a defensive coordinator next year, but under Eric Bieniemy. So, matter of fact, let's start with you, Tristan.
I have a hierarchy of certain head coaches. Okay, I have a hierarchy. There's Jeff Fisher, okay, number 1. Jim Zorn is number 2.
Joe Zorn.
Okay,
Zorn is on.
Leslie Frazier for what he did to Adrian Peterson, not letting him get that record, and now Brandon Staley.
You forgot Adam Gase.
Oh no, you're right. Let me change that. Adam Gase, then Frazier. Now we're at Brandon Staley. Thank you, Brandon. Adam Gase definitely belongs.
I got you, sir.
Here's the thing. And I'm not going to make this a race thing. So I'm gonna preface my statement saying I'm not going to make this a race.
Okay.
But Anthony Lynn was the head coach for the Chargers. Okay. When Anthony Lynn was the head coach for the Chargers, they were keeping that team afloat. When you had an aging Phillip Rivers, you had constant injuries that was taking place all over. He was trying to keep that team afloat. Brandon Staley had 1 year where his defense was ranked above the top 20s with the Rams. One time. And that was the year that they won the Super Bowl and all that. And then all of a sudden, Anthony Lynn's out the door. Never mind the fact that they got Justin Herbert. And let's see what his team would look like if he had a quarterback. No shade to Phillip Rivers, future Hall of Famer. We get all that. But you saw the writing on the wall for Phillip Rivers. There was a lot of games that Phillip Rivers lost. It wasn't a coaching thing. Phillip Rivers lost those games. Okay. There were a lot of them. And just as you draft Justin Herbert and he looks like a stud, you move off of Anthony Lynn and you bring in Brandon Staley because you say you need your defense to match what potentially your offense is going to become, right? The first year, okay, we know there's injuries. Derwin James was nicked up a few times. Joey Bosa's nicked up a few times. You bring Khalil Mack over, he's getting used to you guys. C.J. Jackson gets nicked up a couple. Okay, so there's a couple injuries here and there. But for the past 3-4 years that you have been your coach, You have been the head coach, defensive-minded head coach. Your defense is not even in the top 15
Mm-hmm.
in any category. In any category. And then, so now we're trying to blame a young Justin Herbert, who by all accounts has almost every rookie record for a quarterback. You're trying to blame him and say, oh, well, Justin Herbert needs to close out the games and this, which some of that may be true. But I'm sorry, if your offense, mind you, brought in Kellen Moore, offense coordinator, if your offense can put up 50 points in 2 weeks without any turnovers,
58,
58 points,
no turnovers.
and you still lose?
Fifth in the league in rushing.
Hold on, let's name you. You got Joey Bosa. He was a top pick in the draft, right? Khalil Mack, former defensive MVP, right? Y'all so hyped about CJ Jackson on the corner, right? He's supposed to be a shutdown corner. Derwin James is supposed to be arguably the best safety in the league. Got paid like he was the best safety in the league at one point, didn't it? So on all three levels of your defense, you have some kind of caliber potential all-pro player. And you being a defensive-minded head coach can't get that team to stop people. You have the firepower. Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert with his athletic ability, the way he throws the ball, and Kellen Moore running the controls. You have the offense that has enough firepower. So you're not asking your defense, you're not asking them to be the 85 Bears. You're not asking them to be the 2000 Ravens. You're not asking them to be the Legion of Boom. You're not asking for any of that. Nope. They should be able to hold a team to 20, 21 points, knowing that your offense at minimum is going to get you 24 to 28 points at minimum. At minimum. There's no excuse for you to be the head coach. If there's a button that every head coach needs to be able to push on their football team to make them go to that next level. The reason why, even though and I know we're going to talk about the Jets down the line. The reason why I don't say anything too much about the Jets right now with the situation that's going on is because Robert Saleh is a what kind of head coach?
Defensive.
Okay, and how do the Jets defense look?
They're pretty good.
Okay. So
listen,
I don't harp on if you got the job based on what you were good at, I expect whatever unit you came from to still be that good.
But
Ron Rivera is doing it.
Ron Rivera is doing it with Jack Del Rio. Jim Harbaugh did it with his special teams. Everybody remember Jacoby Jones and all them cats?
Dan Quinn did it in Atlanta.
His special teams was great. Dan Quinn did it in Atlanta. And he's going to get another coaching job at some point down the line for what he's doing with Dallas' defense.
Hopefully, it'll be.
So DeMeco Ryans is doing it in the Texans. I know they got some injuries, but it's coming along. So, I mean, if you're good at what you do to get this job, then that unit should still be good.
Well, Tristan, let's just call it what it is. It's just bad hires happening out here, man. I mean, like he had a come up. He was a position coach until that one good year in LA when they had, of course, they went all in, all the veterans, paid them whatever for that 1 year.
1 year.
Good year, head coach opportunity right away. Philly, they didn't even win the daggone Super Bowl. Both of the coordinators rolled out for jobs.
Yep.
We got Eric Bieniemy, who actually won too at his craft. It's bad. I have no sympathy. These
and
are
look
bad
at how
hires all over the place.
Eric Bieniemy is an offensive mind, right? And look how Washington Commanders offense been looking. Okay, but he couldn't get a head coaching job.
Exactly.
He got 2 chips on his resume. Makes no sense.
The Eagles, both of their one went to Arizona. Forgot where the other one went.
Indianapolis.
They didn't even win the daggone big game.
And then look at their spot. Indianapolis almost got their quarterback killed this past Sunday.
Yeah, got a concussion.
I told
Arizona.
Me and Tristan both said that was going to happen.
We said it was going to happen. Arizona looking like Caleb Williams going to be their quarterback next year with the number 1 pick. So I mean, it's just This is why when we see certain coaches, and I'm trying not to make it a race thing, but it kind of falls into it. This is why when certain coaches don't get hired, or when certain coaches get short leashes, and you're trying to sit there and wonder what's going on, what's really happening. Because if I said it, if I could find the show that we had, I said Anthony Lynn had no business getting fired. I can't remember if it was this. I can't remember if this podcast was created when I said it, or was it the other show that I was on? But I said somewhere, I was like, Anthony Lynn should have not been fired. When you finally get a young, talented quarterback to take his team and lead his team, because Phillip Rivers was on the outs. That was not fair to Anthony Lynn to get fired. Not fair at all, because he kept that team afloat despite all the craziness that was happening.
Well, just like in Detroit when they fired
Jim Caldwell.
Thank you, Jim Caldwell.
I'll never forget that.
They fired Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell brought you to the playoffs after what, 2 decades of not making the playoffs? Jim Caldwell brought you to the playoffs not once but twice, and you fire him, and then you went with Matt Patricia. And y'all just recovering from that.
And you better be glad you made the decision you did make with Dan Campbell.
Exactly. Look at Joe Judge was a freaking I don't even think he was a special teams coach. I think he was like some random position coach with the Patriots. You give him the head coaching job for the Giants, and look at the job he did there. It was a joke.
I like
he
this.
was. He was. Hold on, I'm gonna let you go, Eric. He was a special teams coach in New England. The first time around, but then this past time he was like, I don't think he was a quarterback's coach. But he's some kind of offensive assistant when he was in New England last year.
Well, his offense was offensive.
Well, he had him and Matt Patricia.
It was offensive to watch.
It was. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
I like to point out, since we're talking about Brandon Staley, so I looked up these stats. The Chargers are top 10 in the league in rushing, passing, and scoring. There's nothing wrong with the offense. Kellen Moore is doing his job.
He's doing his job.
They are losing games because although there's talent on the defense, Brandon Staley is not coaching up the defense to help them close out games. They are dead last in pass yards in the league.
God.
They are 32nd against the pass. And you cannot tell me with stars like Derwin James and you got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa coming off the edges that you're going to tell me that you're dead. What are you doing wrong here? You know, so there's games, and I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of people saying, you know, oh, Justin Herbert. No, don't put this on Justin Herbert, sir.
It's not Justin Herbert.
They are number 8 in the league in the pass, and he's thrown every pass this season.
I watched Justin Herbert crank out 34 points for you.
Exactly.
You couldn't hold.
Another problem I have with Brandon Staley is, and I'm gonna keep repeating myself. He comes from this Vic Fangio tree on defense, and
that's embarrassing. Because if I'm Vic Fangio, I'm gonna be like, "Don't tell people you know me."
I just gonna say, it is embarrassing.
Keep my name out your mouth.
I agree.
No, I was under Vic Fangio. The hell you was? No, you wasn't. I don't know you.
Not what you running your defense like this.
Yeah.
I've started a little bit of Vic Fangio's defense, and I like what he does. But
the thing,
Brandon Staley, I don't know what you're doing, man.
The thing is, man, these are it's bad hires all over the league, man, and like everyone wants to be younger. It's like a fraternity too. People are like, oh, it's my homeboy. Coaches get recycled. It's like, dude, he doesn't have the resume to handle this type of responsibility or the experience. It's really just that simple.
Steve, you hit the nail on the head, because when we talked about Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know if you got into that conversation, but when he was in Buffalo, he failed to develop E.J. Manuel. When he was in Jacksonville, he failed to develop Blake Bortles.
He only had the job because of
Aaron Rodgers. It's just like
only had a job because of Pat Mahomes. Like, you guys are making these crazy hires, and I just laugh, man. I just laugh because you just know when they're not going to be good. Like this, like these guys come out of nowhere. How they get these jobs? Like what? Like
With
Brandon Staley, Chicago Bears outside linebackers coach from 17 to 18. Broncos outside linebackers coach in 19. Rams DC in 2020, head coach 2021. Like what? The jump is crazy, man. That's like me being CEO tomorrow for a company. If I get Tech of the Year for my company, like, no, no.
Yeah, I mean it. Even with Nathaniel Hackett, and like I said, I know we're going to jump to it. Like, I can't even blame the game that Zach Wilson had the other day. I can't even blame that game. It's like, bro, get over it. Aaron Rodgers is not there. Get over it. Move forward.
I'm trying to make Zach Wilson be
Aaron Rodgers. Figure out who he is.
Listen,
and how you can. You gave 8 between Dalvin Cook and you gave 8 carries throughout the entire football game.
Zach Wilson had the most carries in that game with 5.
listen.
Are you dumb?
Number one.
How many picks?
Might be
3.
3.
3 what?
Which I consider low for how many attempts they made him have.
Yeah.
Like, and I said it on the podcast. I said, we're going to see what Nathaniel Hackett has. We know for a fact he has that job only because Aaron Rodgers is there.
It's why he had the Denver job, because they thought they were going to land Aaron Rodgers in Denver.
Exactly. Like, bro, now we see you abandon the run like that. And if you do your homework, Dallas has a great defense, but our one weakness last year was running up the middle. And they chose not to run at all. I'm like,
my thing is, the game was still a game deep into the third quarter.
Yeah.
And you abandoned the run.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna be fair. It's the Dan Quinn syndrome. And what I mean by that is, I'm not talking about Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator of Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I think Robert Saleh is deferring to Nathaniel Hackett, which Robert, you need to stop doing that because you're finna be on the street if you keep doing it.
No, facts.
Do not defer to your offensive coordinator if you're a defensive-minded head coach. You need to be at a consciousness of mind as the head coach and say, "Hey, man, the hell you doing? Get the ball, man. Do something. Yeah, you can't be. Hey, man, you know Zach Wilson is. Cue my music. You know Zach Wilson is trash. Okay, so why are you trying to get him to win the game? And first of all, why you got him dropping back to pass with Michael Parsons breathing down his neck every day?
It's like
and a bad offensive line.
And you didn't
against a shoddy offensive line.
You didn't even try to add an extra tight end, do any chips for Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons was just running with his hair on fire.
Dog. Right. Dude, Saleh was like sleep. Like
no tight end chips, no running back chips, no nothing.
Listen, if you're a defensive coach, cool, you got an OC, you trust him, but at some point you recognize, all right, this ain't working.
Exactly.
Now you got to pull rank and try something different. I mean, they completely abandoned the run. It's like if you did your homework, you would know you can run against Dallas. You can run against Dallas if you try.
You know what?
When it comes down to it, bottom line, when it comes down to it, is when heads get ready to roll, you got the top spot. You the head coach. And what your OC gonna fool around and get you fired.
Let me say this real quick. This right here, we always under pressure to perform. So that's why we can't slip up.
Yeah.
So what I mean is that's why we make good head coaches a lot of times, not all the time, but we have a much shorter leash.
Exactly. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it is the reality.
And to be honest, and even though Saleh's not a brother, he's still
a minority.
He's a minority.
He's a minority still. So he's. But to be honest, Staley, people need to look at Staley right now. Like, listen, man, you're not. You have all the tools in the roster.
He needs heat. Brandon Staley needs heat. he needs heat put on him because this roster, it's like Dallas Cowboys West. You look at the roster, you're like, okay, all right,
Look,
you got some all pros on this roster.
look, the Chargers roster has been Dallas Cowboys West for almost
years.
2 decades.
Yeah, for years.
For a long time.
For
Off,
years.
off and on, they've been Dallas West
they've
for
had
almost
better
2
rosters than
decades.
this. They've had
They've
better.
had better.
Yeah.
That's true too.
You've had Hall of Famers through and through that organization.
And they
And
were
that's
Hall of
why-
Famers. They released all pro.
And that's why, and Tristan, I know how you feel about Phillip Rivers, but he's had all the tools he's ever needed.
Yeah, but Norm
He did.
Turner was the head coach though.
He did.
That's
But
true.
coaching was the issue for him.
That's
It was
true.
bad coaching for a long
they've
time.
had stout, elite
You're right.
rosters for years.
But it was bad coaching for a long time for Phillip Rivers. Bad coaching.
Yeah, that too.
He got screwed.
Well, I think we have nothing but ashes left because we burned Brandon Staley in effigy. So let's move on. We talked about Nathaniel Hackett ad nauseum.
Mhm.
I will never, ever, ever pick the Cardinals to win another game again, ever.
I'm not even watch this Sunday.
Caleb Williams, maybe.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Well, it's the Caleb Williams sweepstakes is going to be out of the Giants and the Cardinals. But the Giants actually were able to beat the Cardinals in the Who Gives a Damn Bowl this week. And we could affectionately call it the Toilet Bowl. The Cardinals gave up a 21-point lead to the New York Giants, who cannot pour pee out of a boot without instructions.
Listen, I ain't got
What you say? Hey, wait a minute. What?
They can't pour piss out of a boot without instructions.
Listen, you talking
I
about
ain't-
lock?
Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
Talking about lock this Sunday, and I know we're not paying those picks yet. You talking about a lock? We got.
That's my yes.
I'm not even gonna watch the game. I
Yes.
promise I'm not even gonna watch the game this
Listen.
Sunday. I'm
And
really not.
if Dallas don't put at least 40 on these boys, I'm talking about y'all.
I'm not watching the game this
Listen.
Sunday.
There's nothing to be said about the Cardinals except Caleb Williams, baby. We all know that's
Caleb
what they're
Williams
doing.
sweepstakes.
Caleb, they have locked in. Caleb,
Hey.
you might as well just start finding real estate in Phoenix, baby.
And then New York go get Shadur Sanders.
That's it.
Not yet. His dad said he ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah, Dion
I
said
got
his
your
boys
video.
ain't
You
going
might
nowhere.
saw it. Yeah, both said like
I
he
saw
said,
it,
he said,
He said them boys ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere. You kidding me?
I think he's gonna try. But someone put in the comment, and it's true. And I don't want to rear off on it, but I just want to make this quick thing. Somebody said in the comment, they said, "Yeah, Coach Prime, you could say that, but if your son is a finalist for the Heisman or might win the Heisman this year, you really gonna hold him back from going into the NFL, bro? Because it's not the physical tools I look at with Shadur. It's up here. He has all the processing.
You know what?
He is like a computer.
It's him. It's who I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be. Who I believe Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be. It's that pedigree.
Yes.
That pedigree, man. They're locked
Yes.
in mentally, man, and they're
Yes.
they just have it, man.
Yeah. But I don't want to delve too much because that's a whole other conversation.
we
for another day.
don't really delve off into college that much. But the Cardinals are they're trash. So
Caleb Williams, baby.
the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. That's pretty bad.
Hey.
So there's been a lot of talk about right now who right now in the AFC, a lot of things have changed due to injury.
Mhm.
That's kind of what messed up my picks the last couple of weeks is these injuries.
Injury.
I make a pick on Tuesday because I think somebody not gonna play and then they end up playing and that they the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Or I make a pick thinking that somebody is gonna be fine and they don't play and it messes up my picks. So I hate that because I got Wednesday and Thursday before Friday and Saturday before the games happen on Sunday, and it's like, oh hell, like all right, they with that pick, But no, let's we have a segment that we haven't visited in a while,
Hold on, wait a minute.
Podcast.
Let's pull it up.
It's called the bruh moment. And the bruh moment, for those of y'all who haven't turned in our show, is when somebody does something that make you say, "What, bruh? What you doing?
What you doing, man?"
So last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers were receiving a kick from the Cleveland Browns, which that game was hard to watch. I'm gonna just be honest.
It was tough.
I'm serious. It was like watching paint dry.
It was worse than that.
It was watching paint dry while somebody threw like rotten tomatoes at the wall. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, but
T, you got it. You want me to get it?
I got it.
All right,
you got it. So yeah, cue it up. So when the ball is going out of bounds on a kickoff, you let it roll out of bounds because you get to draw a penalty. You get a legal procedure. This man thought he was Chris Carter. I went with the toe action. Toe drag swag. What your ignorant ass didn't realize was that you put your team in bad field position. No,
You know
let
what?
it go out of bounds.
You know what bothers me about this? There are guys, man, that didn't make the team that are smarter than that.
Smarter than that.
Like I know this guy is not an elite athlete. I'm like, how do you? There are guys that didn't make the team because of him that are better than him. And I was watching it, and I made a joke with a guy. He said, "Man, it's crazy because he did that great catch for that hurt the team, but when he's in the game, he probably won't do anything anyways." Not even a quarter later,
He said, "Hold my bill."
he did. Not even a quarter later, he caught a pass and dropped, and it was a fumble. He got rocked and lost it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
rocked by Denzel Ward, got recovered by Grant Delpit, and they stumbled all the way deep into. Now,
and they were
to
cheating.
be fair, the Steelers did win the game.
They did win.
Somehow, some way, they won. I don't know how, but somehow, some way, they managed to pull their game out.
But bro got to go.
Deshaun Watson.
They were
Bro gotta go.
they were chanting something about getting rid of him. The stadium was he got to go.
You got to cut him.
I mean, there are cats that don't have jobs because this guy does that kind of stuff, man.
You got to cut him.
They weren't hard hits. It wasn't like a bad hand was dealt. He literally sabotaged that game single-handedly.
I'm not one to be an advocate for people losing their jobs because I know people got to feed their families. But yeah, man, you can't do that, bro. You gotta be in. That's when they say, are you here? Are you in the moment? You got to be in the moment. You got to understand what's happening. You see that ball sailing, and you're like, oh, I think this is going on.
Like high school players have the IQ to do the right thing with that. Like where? Yeah. I gotta research. Where did he come from, man? Who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's just when I saw it, I was like, does he know what he did? Like, that's one of the moments, like, you go to the sideline, your special teams coach just smack you upside the head. Like, it's one of those. It's like, bro.
Oh man, shoot, yeah.
Like, bro, come on, bro.
If I was the special teams coach, man, he would have got it. He would have got. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Hey.
His locker is empty. Name tag off. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
You are. Because Mike Tomlin is on the bubble himself, bruh. I can't have that if I'm Mike Tomlin.
No,
he should not be on the bubble. But he like nah.
No. If that was preseason, you already knew you was cleaning out your locker that night, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
it's funny that you say that because I love watching preseason games, and I like watching the second half of preseason games, and they putting all the guys trying to make the team.
Yeah,
you're gonna see one or two things, and I will say it to myself. Somebody will make an outstanding play to be like, see, that's how you make the team,
bro.
Somebody would do something like what he did and be like, see, that's how you get cut.
The kid from the Jets that did the game-winning kick return in the preseason, he had a couple really great returns, and like that was one thing of watching Hard Knocks was so cool. You heard the coaching staff was like, man, yeah, he can make some plays.
Listen, man,
that's how you make the roster.
Listen, Kevontae Turpin, two kickoff returns in one game. solidify his starting returning spot for the
Yes.
Cowboys. Boy, now he's integrated in the offense. Like,
Yes.
you got to seize the moment, man. Take advantage
Yes.
of your opportunity.
This
And
man,
not be
he
a
was like,
bonehead.
this man was like, "Hey, I already made the team. I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and
Nah,
throw
bro.
Drake Swag on his kick return."
I think what made it even worse was that the effort he put into toe tapping to make
Bro,
sure.
it was
bro,
Chris
he
Carter-esque.
What
It
do
was-
kids say? He knew he ate. They say eat, right? He knew he
Yeah,
ate, dog.
that's what
Yeah,
the kids say.
Bro,
He
I'm
just
like-
knew he ate.
Like it was an
That's
80-yard
what made it
reception,
worse.
just toe tap.
that's what
Check
made
me
it worse.
out.
Bro, like he ate, man.
Check these toes out. Toe Jack Swag.
Man,
That's
it
what
was a
made it
low down
worse.
dirty shame.
Bro.
That's what made it worse. The effort he put. It's not like he caught it and like he's like, dang, I kept my foot in. Like, nah, he was trying.
And then it was like, even after that, it wasn't like, oh man, I'm tripping. It was just like, boom, like, dog,
All right, here you go.
You know where you are.
I did that.
He needs a test, man. Check his eyes. What's your name, man? Where are you right now?
Yeah,
Like,
man. Yeah, man.
IQ test.
That joint was terrible.
Football IQ test.
Well, but he need both.
Cause that was yeah, it was bad.
Man,
It
man,
was-
he was on a Burt Duh moment.
It
Sure.
was pretty damn bad.
Man,
So-
he made Homer Simpson look like a genius.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, so man, but yeah, that was pretty bad. So, moving on. Do we have anything else to cover? Because we can get to Pando's picks.
Yeah, we got so much to
listen.
cover.
yeah.
What was the other one we had to cover?
Man, look.
Because there's one person. I'm sorry, we got to talk about it, and I mean, we can't get off the show without talking about this cat, man. We got to talk about it.
What's that?
Deshaun Watson, man.
Oh
we
yeah, you
gotta
did
talk
say
about
Sean
it, bro.
Watson. Yeah, yo.
We got to,
Hey,
bro.
hold on. Before you even start with that, let me say this, okay? Because I in the group chat I had posted this about Cleveland's quarterbacks since 1999. Was it this one? Yeah, here we go. Boom. Cleveland has had since 1999. Cleveland's had 34 different starting quarterbacks, the most in the NFL. 444 passing touchdowns, the fewest in the NFL. 328 interceptions, the second most in the NFL since 1999. That's when they came back with a new franchise. And Deshaun Watson, right now, the way he's playing, is just going to add to all of that. So, I guess, not E, but T, you can go ahead and start with Deshaun Watson, man, because I know you got something to say.
When Deshaun Watson was drafted by the Houston Texans, we all said, okay, well, Deshaun Watson, we watched him at Clemson, watched how amazing he was, came into the league, and you saw all the magic that was there. And you knew, it was like, man, if the Houston Texans could just build a legit team around him, they're going to be a problem. Okay? Things didn't come to pass, right? He goes to the Browns. Not only did the Browns give up 3 first-round picks, but you paid him a fully guaranteed contract
Yes.
of $230 million. Fully. Like every bit of that check
Yes.
hits his bank account. Regardless, he could stop tomorrow. It goes in the account.
Yes.
The check gonna clear, bro. The check gonna clear. This is my thing. Okay, last season he only played 6 games, coming off of 2 years, not playing football for the reasons that we don't need to bring back up. Okay. So okay, we give you a pass. Now you didn't have mini camp, you didn't have OTAs, you didn't have training camp, you didn't have preseason, and now we're going in the second week. The problem with Deshaun Watson for me is that he looks confused out there. That's my problem, is that he looks confused. You didn't forget how to play football,
Yeah.
because you still do some of the things that made you great. But you look confused in this offense. Like you weren't at camp. And Dak the reason why it's such a blaring thing for me is, bro, they basically hedged their whole future on you. If you don't pan out, it's another almost 10 years before they can recover because of the finance and the draft picks that they sacrificed to get you.
You know, but the Browns, their organization, they don't know what they don't know what they're doing with anything. It's proven, man.
I'm with you.
That's why I really wish NFL fans would show more respect to organizations. Yeah, everyone can win Super Bowl, but like teams that actually know what they're doing when it comes to getting players and contracts.
Yes,
like, they haven't gotten it right ever.
Listen,
well, look, hold on. Well, okay. So real quick, to add to Tristan's point, you know, the head coach will probably get fired, the GM will probably get fired, and see, the thing is, since 1999, hold on. Also, since 1999, they've had 2 different owners. They've had multiple GMs, multiple head coaches, multiple offensive coordinators, multiple quarterbacks. And that's how dysfunctional they have been since they came back. It's just nothing. There's nothing stable. The only thing that Cleveland can hang their hat on since 1999 is Hall of Fame left tackle Joe Thomas. That's it.
Exactly, and they're one of those franchises to where they are so desperate for ticket sales. They're trying to survive for ticket sales and splashes. The biggest name in college. Oh, Johnny Manziel, let's draft him. Like whatever they can do to keep their fans someone and they just do it, man. Yeah. And I just find it funny, man. I enjoy it.
But remember, we had said when they gave Deshaun Watson that contract, and we saw people were so worried. They're like, "Oh my God, look what they did to the QB market." All of us said, like, "That's an anomaly. That ain't happening." Then because them other owners ain't doing that. What you mean? What you mean? So basically, you want me to I basically hand you the keys to my team for the next 5-6 years? You holding my team hostage?
Yeah, because that cap hit is at $60 million over the next 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't even peaked yet.
So they can't go get
actually it was supposed to start peaking this year, but they moved some of it.
They moved some of it. They're just trying to kick the inevitable down the road. That's all they're doing.
It's gonna be hard to keep doing that though.
You just kicking the inevitable. At some point, you got to pay the piper.
That credit card is due.
And you gonna hurt. What you think? You think Amari Cooper ain't gonna want some money?
Some more money, because I'm sure his.
You think
he's getting it? He's getting it.
He's gonna get it. You think Njoku's not gonna want some money? Some of these guys you got on this team, they're gonna want to get paid. What's up, Joe?
Junior.
Hi.
Hey.
Dad.
What's up, June?
As you can see, everybody that's a father in here are great fathers because we let our kids come on here with no problem. Amen. But but you know, like I don't understand. I don't understand the thought process of the organization. And like I said, Deshaun, I mean, we got to see something from you, brother. Like, we can't keep resting on the fact, like, yeah, man, there was a time where you were considered a top 3 quarterback in this league.
Yeah. That one season when he lead the league in passing yards? Yeah.
Like, bro, you supposed to be the one going against Pat Mahomes.
The bad part about it, he was really held back in Houston with Bill O'Brien.
Yes.
And, so now, hey, man, as much as I'm rooting for him, it's like, dude, what are you doing right now? You gotta right the ship. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
But like what you've shown us throughout 2 weeks is like, hey, man,
I've never
gave you a pass on last season because, hey, man, you had to knock the rust off.
I don't think I've ever seen a player that made an offensive mind look like they were regressing. He makes Stefanski look like he's regressing.
Man, they have a stout roster, man.
Bro, look what Jacoby Brissett was doing with the same roster, bro.
They have a stout roster, man.
They have one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Look what Jacoby was doing.
Yep.
For all that, you could have kept Jacoby for the cheap and got more tools. But You done chained. You're chained to him.
You really
You're
are.
fully guaranteed. You're chained to him. You can't afford to take no cap hit as far as cutting him. Ain't nobody trading because ain't nobody taking that contract from you. So
Hey, oh well, the Browns,
stuck.
y'all did it. That's
You stuck.
y'all
You
did
stuck.
it. Y'all
You stuck.
did it.
Y'all better hope he find it. Maybe he needs to go sit in a dark room and put on some old Houston Texans film or some Clemson film, something, try to fuck his brain back up. Like, bro, this was you, bro.
Yeah.
Find something, man.
Something has to happen. Yes.
Something. Especially with Nick Chubb being out now. Now it's you, bro.
It's on your shoulders. It really is on your shoulders.
It's you now, bro. Sink or swim.
Yeah, he's got to do better. He's got to do better. They can, in that system, they can go find some more running backs. So that's not the issue. You got a decent receiving core, got a decent tight end, you got a very good offensive line, you got a pretty good defense too. Cleveland's defense is underrated.
Miles Garrett
is legit, man.
Miles Garrett's been a madman, low key.
Jim Schwartz is running that defense.
Yeah, we've been talking about Michael Parsons, but low key, Miles Garrett has been having a season so far.
They're solid, man.
Yeah, so realistically, like, there ought to not be an excuse. He's got to play better. They could have realistically won that game against Pittsburgh last night. It was just too many mistakes, too many errors. And I'm not even talking about the turnovers. I'm just talking about there's a lot of drives that ended because of bad decisions that were made by Deshaun. You know, like there was some times where Pittsburgh could not figure out what to do, but you know, Cleveland screwed it up. You know, so I still have a little faith because Cleveland has tools, because Cleveland has such a good defense, and because it's possible for Deshaun Watson to right the ship. I still got faith in Cleveland. Do I think they're going to win the division? No. But do I feel like they can still salvage the season and have a good season? Yes. I think they can still have a winning season.
I look it looked like I would say the Ravens look like they're tailor-made to run away with that division. We'll see what happens with the Bengals, but if Joe Burrows can't play,
and that's the issue. Is like people like saying, we'll talk about Joe Burrow. There's things people say is like, oh, they paid him all that money. He ain't doing nothing. He's injured. He's
hurt. That's a calf injury.
It's his right calf.
If you can't plant,
that's plant foot.
Yes.
Right. If you can't plant, you can't drive the ball. You're going to be off target.
That's people who don't know anything about football, don't know anything, especially about the quarterback position.
Nah, you know who it is.
You go ahead and try to do a 3-step drop and try to fire off a bad calf muscle, and then come back and talk to me.
Brandon, you know who it is? It's Ravens fans. That's who it is.
You know,
it's Ravens fans.
But regardless, man. At some point, you had to. I don't know how to say or what the word is, but you have to understand that he's a quarterback. He needs his plant foot to be able to throw that football. Football mechanics at quarterback is so crucial.
And the thing is that unless you've been a former athlete, regardless of level, if you don't understand how important your legs are, the power that comes from it for what they have to do.
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason why there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the world. Like, it's not a thing that you just like one of us going to put on some shoulder pads and go out there and throw for 300-400 yards on an NFL field. Like, these guys,
like we Uncle Rico.
You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, the way they plant, the force that comes from it. Like, yeah, if his calf is, you want Joe Burrow to sit, because if his calf, it's the same thing. We've seen it in almost every sport. If something is wrong with your calf, sit your tail down, because the next thing that's gonna go is your Achilles.
Yep,
gonna pop.
If you're not healthy, Like your drop is timed with the routes of the receivers. So a 3, 5, 7, whatever, 3
Yes.
5 mainly. When you hit, it has to be timed perfectly. You know how your calf, reacts to your ankle, on each step, and what your receiver's doing. And if that timing is not there, bro, you're gonna struggle.
Because here's the thing with the Bengals. Here's the thing now. This is the worst case scenario for you. Because when he hurt his calf during training camp, the idea was that he was supposed to sit out a few games. And everybody was concerned, well, man, the first 2 games are division games. We need Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow goes and plays. Y'all still lose the 2 division games, and he re-aggravated that calf again. So now, you could have taken the L for these 2-3 games. I know it would have put y'all behind the 8 ball a lot, but you could have taken the L to give him an extra couple months to let that calf heal properly. That calf ain't gonna be right for the rest of the year. I don't care what kind of miracle.
And my thing
it's
is,
gonna be an issue for the rest of the year.
And my thing is, you talking about taking an L? I mean, for real, that's worth it because then you just go ahead and battle for the wild card, which you probably would have gotten in anyway, and so you're still competing for the Super Bowl. You just got to take a little bit longer road, and you're on the road all the time. But
and then you played it.
It's
you
worth
still
it because the Cincinnati Bengals are on the same boat with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Eagles, and the 49ers. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I think what the Bengals are going to have to come to grips with is that you guys might not be in the playoffs this year because of that calf. It's either you're going to sit them for a couple weeks and y'all going to lose some more games, or God forbid, I'm not wishing it. It's a chance he could hurt it some more, and you lose him, and then y'all going to go lose some more games. I'd rather you take the former. Hey, man, you might have to chalk this season up. Let you rest. You come back. If there's a mathematical chance we got a shot, you come back. We ready to rock and roll with you. But you done paid this man this money. You need him to be healthy for his career.
Yes.
You need him to be healthy. You done paid him. You need him to be healthy. Y'all need to think on the long ball. Y'all haven't missed the playoffs since he stepped foot in here, except for the fact of the year he got hurt. Y'all have, when he's been on his feet, y'all ain't missed. Y'all need to sit him and let that man heal properly, especially with that calf. We just saw it. We just saw what happened to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' calf was messing with him during offseason. During training camp, they said he had a calf issue. And look what happened. It's there. Just be patient, Cincinnati. Y'all don't act like this ain't the Patriots. Y'all ain't done nothing in a long time. Y'all could wait a little longer. Y'all could wait. If you know you're gonna have this guy for another 10 years, 10, 12 years. You can wait a little longer.
Well, you know how they say it's getting greater later.
Yeah.
It's getting greater later.
Because honestly, they've made some very smart financial decisions. There's a good chance you guys will be able to keep all 3 of your receivers. Really? So it ain't like your team about to implode anytime soon, bro.
They're gonna be able to keep all 3 of them.
Let him heal, man. Let him heal.
They be able to keep all 3 of them.
It's a possibility the way they're talking with T. Higgins contract and Boyd's contract. Yeah, there's a possibility they can keep all 3, and that's gonna be crazy if they can. I said possibility.
I've been hearing different.
Yeah, they said T's gonna hit that market.
Yeah,
but they said they still can keep Boyd and
but remember what I said. Remember what I said before. Even if T. Higgins go, because there has been people saying that they want him to go test it because they believe he's a legit number 1. They want him to get paid like such elsewhere. So even if T. Higgins go, Boyd is
for sure.
All these other teams number 2 for sure. So
yeah.
Well, let's get into these picks.
No.
Damn, man, what?
I'll mess with you. Go ahead.
Nah, he kidding. Go ahead, hit them pick there.
We're all into the show. No. So yeah, man.
I knew I was gonna mess you up.
So yeah, man. Last week was my absolute worst. As most of you know who follow the show and been following the show, I've never gone below 500. So my worst record is 8-8. Well, this week, because I put the trust in a team that I never should have put trust in, and that's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my
That was
God.
my pick. That was my pick'em game.
That's on you, man.
But they were playing the Giants. I mean, pick your poison. You got trash playing sewage. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was my pick'em game.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Cardinals, they won that game, and I'm never picking them to win anything ever in life again. But this week, again, we still don't know because there's a lot of injuries up in the air. But I'm gonna go ahead and make the picks anyway because I ain't scared. I ain't never scared. So
All right, Bone Crusher.
I'm gonna make my picks Thursday night. The New York Giants go to Santa Clara to face the 49ers. I have the 49ers winning that game. Brandon Ayuk may not play. He has an injured shoulder, so it may be a lot closer.
Saquon Barkley may not play, so that's a cross out.
Maybe. So, but I have the 49ers winning that game, pretty much going away. The only reason why it's not my lock of the week is because of Brandon Ayuk not playing. That's the only reason. So I have the Niners over the Giants. This is gonna be crazy. Titans versus the Browns. I still believe in the Browns. I still believe Deshaun Watson is gonna right the ship. That defense is good enough to stop the Titans. The Titans are like one-dimensional as I'll get up.
They are one-dimensional.
I think the Browns defense is good enough to force some turnovers deep in the Titans' own territory and give the Browns some easy points and pull this one out. So I like the Browns over the Titans. Next game, I have the Falcons at the Lions. I think the Lions are gonna bounce back because I feel like Dan Campbell probably put the whole team in a room and pulled out a paddle. For those of y'all who pledged, I understand.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't have lost to the Seahawks the way they did.
I agree. That really
I think Dan Campbell hazed the whole team. Now
Bijan Robinson is a stud, though.
Yeah, there is a concern with this because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is out with a torn pectoral.
Yep.
And they got another DB that's hurt.
The Lions do.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know who it is, but there's another DB that's hurt.
Yeah, their secondary is banged up.
Yeah, it is.
So they're going in there with a banged up secondary.
Who they playing?
The Falcons. So the Falcons are going to Detroit to play Detroit.
Okay.
I still like that front seven of Detroit.
If you got Kyle Pitts in your fantasy, this might be the game to start.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts is gonna still get his, but I have Detroit still winning it. I'm still not convinced about the Falcons. I'm not. I'm really not.
Got a strong run game. It's a strong run game. Their defense plays a lot better than what I thought they would.
I told y'all I had a couple of sources that told me that the Falcons front seven was gonna be much better.
You did. You said it.
Next game, I had the Saints going to Green Bay. The Saints are hard to watch.
Yes,
they're very hard to watch,
and I'm surprised too
because if you're a Saints fan, I'm surprised all the Saints fans don't they don't make the stock in blood pressure medicine go up. Because Saints fans, they nerves ought to be bad every game. Because they should have manhandled the Panthers last.
They should have.
And they struggled to beat them. And it's like, come on, man, y'all so much better than these dudes.
I kind of Derek Carr, and I've been a Derek Carr fan. He's the reason why they struggled yesterday, man. I'm gonna just say it. He is, man. He did not play good last night.
I know everybody's saying like these people are in new places and all that stuff. They're getting used to offense. But man, y'all had camp. You played. Derek Carr played in the preseason. Like I give all teams about 4 weeks of this. I do. I give all teams about 4 weeks before I really judge.
Grace period.
And that's kind of where I am. I'm kind of about like week
I give
3,
them
week 4.
Yeah, but
And that's when the picks really gonna start to solidify because some of these teams still haven't shown us who they are.
yeah,
Some of
But
these teams
Derek
that we
Carr-
think are better than what they are not. Some of these teams that we think are not that good are better than what they are, what we think they are.
well, I need Derek Carr to be better because I really want to troll the Raiders this year.
He
So
played
I need him
bad
to-
against a bad team.
I need him to be better.
Yeah. And
So Eric James is saying that the Saints offense, there's a lot of bad offensive line play this year.
very bad. But I still like the Saints to go into Green Bay and win that game because I feel like Jordan Love is playing really well, but the Saints defense is
He give him problems. They gave Aaron,
going to do enough to give him problems.
they've given
He's
Aaron
a
Rodgers
young
problems.
quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's a young quarterback, and they give issues to young quarterbacks. So I feel like the Saints defense is good enough to go in there and pull out a real close one in Green Bay. I don't think they're gonna run away with it, but I think they're good enough to pull out a close one.
I can see that.
Next game, I have the Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins,
About to wipe the
yeah, the Miami Dolphins have a track team.
Hey, look. Mike McDaniel has started something new on offense this season, and Denver's not going to be able to defend it. What's going on is something called, well, I'm hearing it's called burst motion or fast motion, and what they're doing is you can line up in a bunch formation. Let's say it's 2x2. This receiver that's on the outside of the bunch formation is going to end up on the inside because that slot receiver is going to run to the nearest sideline, and then he's going to run his route. So what you can do is you can run something like a dagger route. So he comes across the new slot receiver ends up running a seam route, and then he comes back in and running a dig. So that burst motion is going to kill Denver. And Kyle Shanahan did a little bit this past weekend, and so did Sean McVay. Y'all gonna see that a whole lot more coming up in the future.
And to be honest, Sean Payton and Russ, they're not doing well together, man. Let's just call it what it is. They're struggling. They're not in sync as far as I'll say more so. Russ is not sync with his receivers. They're struggling big time. They went up early on Washington, 21-3, and they just flatline for the rest of the game. I mean, they got lucky Hail Mary at the end, but their offense looks bad, man. It does.
So that's why I have the Miami Dolphins giving Denver starting off 0-3. So yeah, that's the Dolphins probably gonna wipe the floor with them. Next game, I have the LA Chargers going to Minnesota to face the Vikings. I have the Vikings winning this one because Brandon Staley is still their coach.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins is still the quarterback for the Vikings.
Yes, but they're gonna shoot it out because the Vikings defense isn't that good. Justin Herbert, if you're a fantasy owner and you have Justin Herbert, go ahead and play him because he's still gonna get a lot of yards on this Vikings defense. But at the end of the day, Brandon Staley is going to do something to allow Kirk Cousins to win this game. That's what I think.
And you could be right because
they are 32nd against the pass.
Look,
The Chargers are.
I'm gonna say something right now. You lose to Kirk Cousins, and it's terrible. Then I think Staley should definitely be fired sooner rather than later.
They're not gonna get blown out because the offense is good enough to keep pace, but the defense is going to do something to basically cost them that game. It's going to be a decision that Brandon Staley made. It's going to be some kind of coverage he calls. It's like, what the heck are you doing? And I see the Vikings winning this game because of Brandon Staley's bad defensive coaching. So moving on, I have New England against the Jets. I have New England winning that one because Zach Wilson is the quarterback and Nathaniel Hackett is the offensive coordinator of the Jets. That's it. Mm-hmm. And it might be a low-scoring affair, but New England's going to win it. If it's a low-scoring affair, it's definitely in New England's favor because Mac Jones ain't no cup of tea either. But if you want to, pick which turd floats highest in the toilet, I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. Okay, so New York's defense is going to keep it close, but Zach Wilson is going to Zach Wilson. And you know what rhymes with Zach, huh? Dak. Zach thinks he's Dak from last year, so he gonna try to lead the league in interceptions this year.
Who the Jets play?
The Jets play New England. I just said it.
My bad. No. I was sending a message to Tristan because he sound guy. So
Yeah, New England. Yeah, they have solid defense too. So I see. I mean, it's just going to be just as bad. Well, they're going to be worse than they were last year.
To me, it's going to be a defensive game.
It's going to be a low scoring affair.
It really is. It really is.
So, next up, I have the Buffalo Bills at the Commanders. The Commanders play really good defense.
I actually got the Commanders winning this game. Me personally,
I think the Commanders can win this game
because my thing is this: you don't run the ball, Buffalo, and there's too much dysfunction in Buffalo. I still think Stephon Diggs is. I mean, he's quiet now, but he's before the season he's going to blow up maybe one or two more times. Josh Allen, I've never been on a Josh Allen bandwagon like a lot of people have. I'm not saying anybody on the show, but I've just not have gotten on the Josh Allen bandwagon, and I never will. Washington, I think, can put up just enough points to put pressure on Josh Allen, and I think Washington can be successful.
I think Josh Allen is hot and cold, and this is his week to be cold.
I would rock with that, but I'm looking at Washington's performance and against who they played against. I mean, the Cardinals have struggled week one.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you. They have struggled with Denver and Arizona.
And I'm saying Buffalo's offense is way better than Denver. Buffalo has a better team than Denver in general. Washington they've been playing a lot of good second half football. I just feel like Buffalo, they're just a better team.
Yeah, but it's not dysfunction. It's a lot of dysfunction, man.
They're not going to beat the Buffalo Bills. They're not. Man.
It's a lot of dysfunction.
You ain't going against Josh Dobbs and this dysfunctional Denver team, man. Buffalo get 21-3. They're not losing that lead, bro. They're not.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You know what? I kind of trust Steve a little bit on that one. Steve you make some good points right there. I do feel like
Washington still almost lost that game to Denver.
No, that's true. That's true.
When you think about that Denver game, it's like Washington should have blew that open. And the fact that Denver had a chance at the end and basically they won off of a no call.
Exactly.
I think I'm with you, Steve. I think I'm gonna go back and make my pick the Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo. I'm just sharing. I mean, Buffalo just has a better team, a really good team. I think they're just more consistent as far as moving the ball, putting points up. And I mean, I think Washington's. I think they're still pretty good. I hate to say it, but I think they are good. But I just feel like against that offensive firepower in Buffalo, it's gonna be tough.
Okay, so Texans at Jags, that's the Jags.
Yeah, definitely.
The Texans they're still a young team. 1, 2, they still have 2 safeties that may not play in Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie.
Oh yeah, forget it.
That was the reason why they lost last week. It's like, okay, you have you out there with backup safeties. You got 2 really good ones, but neither one of them playing. So I like the Jags. The Jags are on a tear right now. The Jets are supposed to lose to the Bills without Rodgers. Yeah, but I mean, it's the Jets, man. I mean, they looked up and got that. They got that punt return, or was it kick return? What was the walk? It was a walk-off punt return, wasn't it?
I think it was punt return.
Yeah. But I mean,
they looked up and got that, and then the touchdown to Garrett Wilson. That was literally Garrett Wilson being awesome. That was not.
Yeah, I mean, and the Jets' defense is elite, man. I mean, they can keep him in ball games. To be completely honest,
The Jets defense is championship caliber defense, but the problem is that you still have Zach Wilson as your quarterback, and Nathaniel Hackett is still your offensive coordinator, and that's gonna cost them. And if I'm that defense, I really feel sorry for that defense. If I'm that defense, I'm frustrated because what they're gonna do is they're gonna hold on and hold out and hold out and hold out, and then they're gonna run out of gas and start giving up points because the offense keeps going 3 and out or turns the ball over deep in their own territory. That's what's gonna happen. Because I really feel bad for that defense. They have a championship caliber defense in New York, which I don't know how we started talking about New York. That was two picks ago. But Colts versus Ravens. Give me the Ravens. There's no Richardson. Gardner Minshew is starting. The Ravens are going to run roughshod over them. Give me the Seahawks over the Panthers. In Seattle, is the Seahawks are going to do just enough to build up their confidence until they start seeing some good teams, and then they're going to get curb stomped. This is one of them games where they're going to win. They're going to build their confidence up and think they better than what they are, and then they're going to run into somebody like San Francisco or Dallas or Philadelphia and get curb stomped. So it don't matter if OBJ is out. They playing the Colts, man. They playing the Colts. It don't matter if OBJ is out.
Colts has no offense right now. They just, Anthony, like I said, Anthony Richardson's out. Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if he's even playing or not. And then, whatever is next.
And OBJ ain't got juice like that no more. He's not a game changer like that anymore. He's just not. He's a cog in the wheel. And they put another cog in there. You saw what Zay Flowers was able to do. They're going to be fine.
Yep.
So Bears at the Chiefs. If the Chiefs weren't if they weren't rolling, if they were rolling, like they normally would be, this would be my stone cold lock. But the Chiefs are a little bit on offense, but they're good enough to beat Justin Fields and the Bears. Because my God, that Bears team, we were right when we picked them to go. They're gonna be last in their division. They are horrific. They are bad. My stone cold lock of the week is the Dallas Cowboys over the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals is probably going to be my lock of the week, whoever they play. If the Cardinals play the Little Giants from that movie, I'm going to pick the Little Giants. Okay, the Cardinals are a hot, flaming mess. All right, and the Cowboys are probably a top 3 team in this league right now. So they are going to go into Arizona, and they're going to burn that giant toaster to the ground. That's my stone cold lock of the week. The Cowboys, give me the 30 points, 30-point differential at least over the Cardinals.
Agreed.
Okay. Give me the Steelers over the Raiders because Jimmy Garoppolo is your quarterback. We saw with Jimmy Garoppolo. He gave us 2 Jimmy specials last week, 2 picks, and and the way Pittsburgh's defense is starting to gel again to look like Pittsburgh's defense minus Patrick Peterson, who needs to retire. But that defense, even if Minkah Fitzpatrick doesn't play because he's questionable for that game, I got Pittsburgh handling the Raiders easy. Just off of sheer defense, the Raiders are going to turn the ball over at least once, and Pittsburgh is going to win that game. Slowly but surely, Pittsburgh's offense is trying to find its wheels, but it's not going to matter because this will be the game to do it because the Raiders' defense isn't that good. So yeah, give me Pittsburgh over the Raiders. Give me the Eagles over the Buccaneers. This may be the week where Baker Mayfield comes back down to earth. You know that Baker Mayfield cycle. Y'all know that cycle. Plays good enough to make everybody think he good. Then he comes around, stinks it up, goes back to himself, finds a new team. Yeah, that's the Baker. That's what you are here. We about to get to that point where Baker Mayfield's about to show us who he really is.
3 interceptions.
Yeah, something like that. Them hot bacon turnovers. Okay.
Apple turnovers.
The Rams versus the Bengals. This is my pick'em game for the week. And only reason this is a pick'em game is because we don't know the status of Joe Burrow's calf. If Joe Burrow was healthy, I got the Bengals doing whatever they want to the Rams, honestly. Doing whatever they want to them. But because Joe Burrow may or may not play, it's a pick'em game. I still got the Bengals winning this though. Because if all you have to do is stop Puka Nacua from running 11-yard curls, which the 49ers let him do, gave him 15 catches, and they still lost the game. How you get 15 catches and catch for 150 yards and still lose the game? Oh, I know how. Matt Stafford throwing interceptions.
Hey, listen, I just told you Sean McVay is copying Mike McDaniel in that burst motion.
He can burst the motion all he wants to. He can burst. The bubble gonna burst because Matt Stafford throw interceptions. He threw 2 last week and really threw 4. 2 of them got dropped. Matt Stafford is Matt Stafford. So miss me with that how great Matt Stafford stuff is. People, yeah, you know who I'm talking to.
Burst
All right.
motion.
So I got the Bengals winning that game. I got Matt Stafford getting picked off at least once in that game. Yeah, Matt Stafford is looking Jimmy G. Yes, you're absolutely right here.
Goodness gracious.
Toast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So to recap, Niners over Giants, Browns over Titans, Lions over Falcons, Saints over Packers, Fins over Broncos, Vikings over Chargers, Patriots over Jets, Bills over Commanders, Jags over Texans, Ravens over Colts, Seahawks over Panthers, Chiefs over Bears, Cowboys over Cardinals, Stone Cold Lock of the Week, Pittsburgh over the Raiders, Eagles over Tampa Bay, and my pick'em game is the Bengals over the Rams.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your panel's picks. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, like I said, like we all agreed early in the show, if you get us up to 500 subscribers, we will get a Patreon and you can watch us in the green room, okay?
Y'all gonna watch me eat a sandwich before the show.
And y'all gonna see me act a fool because, like I said, before we went live, we talked about 2 legendary rappers and put them in the same conversation. Gangsta Boo and Tupac. But we're not gonna say why.
Y'all, it's mostly him.
It's Gangsta Boo and Tupac Shakur. Okay.
It's mostly Brandon. I'm gonna eat a sandwich and get ready for the show and do my notes and everything. That's Brandon, dude. It's mostly him. Yeah.
Can I get paid? Anyway, let's see. So we're live on YouTube, and I saw in the comments that we had some problems on the YouTube section. Do apologize for technical difficulties. We're not sure if it's on our end or YouTube's end. If it's on YouTube's end, then they got to deal with it. If it's on our end, then we'll get our quarterback Tristan to take a look at it. We thank Tristan for being on the show. Well, of course he's a host, but anyway, he was on here. Thank you. Yeah, but we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitch, and we're live on Musty Twitter. Let's see. You can follow us on TikTok, which I put a video up regarding Chris Jones on Sunday. You can follow us on IG, Facebook, and Instagram. Oh, no, I said IG. Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. Yeah. So Twitter, TikTok, IG, Facebook. Okay.
We own all of them.
Yes. Basically. Oh, and I plan on starting putting some polls up on the Facebook section of Just a Fan Podcast. So I plan on doing that. Starting tomorrow. You can listen to us on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Okay. So that direction, the man defensive minded of this group, panel 316.
Man, I just hope these teams don't have me looking crazy out here.
Always eating a sandwich. Down below, the best hands in football history. Better than Chris Carter.
This podcast, maybe not football history.
Steve White. Your hand's not better than mine.
Okay, you got it, man.
All right. And then I am the quarter host, the NFL Encyclopedia, the Wildcat quarterback that runs the show, Coach Williams. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Peace.
Peace. We out.